Welcome back to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. We've been coming to you live from Crypto Evolved, brought to you by Viable Markets. It's the first industry conference focused on cryptocurrency market structure. Joining me for this segment is Rich Kirshner, who's a senior advisor over at Elixir. We're going to look at crypto startups. Rich, thanks very mumuch for joining me at Crypto Evolved today. Now, tell us about Elixir and what your role is within the crypto space.
Sure, thanks, Jill. Elixir is a 100-person UK-based consulting firm. Our practice in the US is about 2 years old, and we spend a lot of time in the fintech space. We represent both large corporates as well as a lot of companies in the fintech startup space, and so we're really a bit of the translation layer between the large corporates trying to understand what's happening in the fintech space and the fintech firms, particularly the ones that are selling into enterprise capital markets, trying to understand how do I sell into the big companies, what are the problems that they're trying to solve, what does that path look like for me. So in crypto in particular, fintech, we see crypto as just a part of the fintech story, and so you have enterprises that are trying to provide services throughout the whole crypto value chain, and we're helping them think through what their value propositions are, how to think about, again, the right problems to solve under the right timeline.
All right, so you just moderated the panel, Investing in Crypto. What does investing in crypto mean, and really, what's the criteria for today? Is it similar to the way you would look at a traditional finance startup?
Yeah, it's a great question, and actually one of the first ones that I asked the panel. I'm really interested in how the concept of early stage investing gets translated into the crypto world. So I really oversimplify it into three categories for thinking about investments in early stage ventures, right? So it's the purpose, the path to profitability, and the people, right? So tell me about the purpose. What problems are you trying to solve? Are you missionaries or mercenaries? What is your path to profitability? How do I think about that given all the things that are going to come in between? And then who are the people? How do I understand the bets I'm making in early stage? So the challenge in crypto is that it's a very early stage technology. The problems that they're solving are unclear at times. It has been a little bit more of a technology looking for problems to solve and looking for use cases. I think that's evolved a bit. But also the people challenge is you're not really sure about, there are new people in the space. They don't have the same track records that they have even in fintech, which is slightly more evolved. And so there are a lot more unknowns. You have to have a really strong stomach for coming into the space.
All right, so how do you determine who's successful and who is winning out there?
So we had an interesting back and forth about that, and I think that is unclear right now. So there was a debate around some of the more traditional folks who think that a middle ground has to be found between the folks who don't like governance and other things, kind of what the anarchists love about crypto in the beginning, and find that middle ground so it can apply to what are essentially really very important regulated markets and financial services. And there are those who say, look, you know what, that's the whole problem. There are many intermediaries, there are things that need to be changed about the financial markets, and so we want to change all that, and so telling us we have to find a middle ground is not really the right approach at all.
So that would be the biggest challenge that you're facing in the space right now, is finding that middle ground.
Yes, I think first of all understanding what is that middle ground, whether you really even should be looking for that. And you only really know that post facto, right? And so you're managing a lot of very passionate, disruptive people who are good with the technology, maybe don't understand how the financial markets really work and the importance of that. And then you have other folks who maybe are reluctant for that change to come as quickly as it should.
All right, well, let's wrap it up then. Where are the opportunities, and what's your longer-term outlook?
So I think the opportunities right now, there are many startups. It kind of reminds me of that 97 to 2002 era. The only difference is instead of a lot of companies going public, they're doing the ICO route or were. I think the opportunity is in the companies that are doing the services and the market infrastructure, trying to provide that ecosystem for the trading venues and other tokenized services to operate in. And I think long term, what we're starting to see already is some of the more established institutions that have been in the trading spaces or in the other market infrastructure spaces are starting to come into it. A little bit of like, let's let all those disruptors kind of play around with each other, figure out what they come up with or not, and then we still have the market presence to just come in and maybe take that over. And I think the thing to watch really is how much of all of these disruptors with great passion are going to be washed away perhaps by the folks who have already been in this and are just going to adapt that technology in a new way.
Thank you very much. Interesting insight. And thank you for joining me today. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.